are back. We are back.
Why the yo's?
Because I just gotta do like the old school
It's
DJ.
like, hello.
Yo.
I'm old.
You
Welcome.
know what's happening
what
in
it
the place
sounds like.
to be.
Nope.
AG and Dom.
Nope.
You know, hey.
Nope.
But you guys can hear us now, I hope.
Let's hope so.
So,
Test 1, 2,
is this
3.
a test? See what I did there? It was kind of
Dad joke.
yeah. I'm great at those.
Mm-hmm.
Undefeated.
Anyways, today's topic is this a test? Question mark. Temperament is irritated. That's normal for me. So moving right along.
It is Thursday.
I'm just saying, kitty litter. Take responsibility for the kitty litter.
We're not talking about that.
Anyways. When you change the litter, you use the whole bottle. You don't use half a bottle and then leave the other half. And I'm just saying.
Didn't touch it. But, yeah.
One of your ghost friends did. I would appreciate if you let them know. Leave my shit alone.
Well,
Next time they come to visit.
hey, I don't have jurisdiction over them. Maybe that was yours.
I think it's because you pretend they're not there.
Uh,
If you start talking to them, they'll listen to you.
I talked to them.
Well, be better at it. Better at
Like,
communication.
Don't be weird and, you know, just
Tell them to
what's
leave the
up?
kitty litter
Shut
alone.
up.
But anyways, the point of is this a test? Is lucid and open discussion just about life
Mm-hmm.
and how sometimes it's so absolutely ridiculous that you're like, am I being punked?
Yeah.
So that is the pun of, is this a test?
Yeah. I can definitely say it's a test. It's an experience. An experience is a test. Or an experiment. You know, experience. You know, all one and the same.
Well, here's a question. How to identify if what you are experiencing is the result of your own lack of self-care
Okay.
or some external force against you, or is the universe calling you to another level, or are you just being challenged?
That's all very loaded because
It could be all.
it could be, yes, it could be every single one of them. But every single one of them happening means that you could be going in the right direction. You know, it could be a sign to stop going in the direction you're going in. It's all about being more or less intuitive with self in order to understand that, though.
And which part do you think you're in?
All of the above. All of the above. And that means it's going to be not easy. It's going to be tough. It's going to be challenges. It's going to be some great days and lots of bad ones.
Not
Leading up
necessarily
to-
lots of bad ones.
No. I mean, I'm saying to this point. But days to come probably are going to be great. I don't know. We will find out.
Mm-hmm.
Next time on The Life of AJ. But I mean, I just feel like it's all a challenge. It's all going to be a challenge, and you don't make something better by making it easy, you know. So
Easy's
Yeah.
for sissies.
yeah, well, gotta kind of go through it, no matter how hard it is. It's just kind of what the test is that right there, like we said. And I don't know if you guys seen. I'm just gonna say this real quick for 2 seconds, but that dark matter, man, looks like a test.
It was just a trailer, right? What made you bring that up right now?
Because
I don't even know what it is yet.
Because the premise is where I was getting at. It's just loaded, and it's about him opening so many different doors to other versions of himself, and how one version can't accept something and came and robbed his life from him because he could not accept the challenges that that version was going through. So I'm just saying that it was just, yeah.
I think the biggest test is trying to keep focus on yourself when you see everybody else around you,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody else around you irritates you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the hardest part of life.
Right.
Especially when you feel like everybody else's journey is affecting yours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
In one way or another.
Right. Right. And when you like, if you care about those people too, it's kind of hard to see them. And
you almost have to stop caring.
Yes. That's the hardest, probably the hardest part. Is like, okay, I see wherever they're going, I can't pay attention because I'm gonna be focused on what they're doing and not myself, and then go through a whirlwind, you know.
But here's a question: how much of that, when you're dealing with like life partnership,
Mm-hmm.
is it fair for you to have a say or be irritated by? Because at the end of the day, when you deal with life partnerships, there's only two
Mm-hmm.
ways it goes. Either the person cares about what you think,
Mm-hmm.
or the person decides to let you go.
Right.
But it's too often that people
Mm-hmm.
don't want to do either one, and they just want you to drag you down a miserable road.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what's fair and what's not, and what determines that?
Yeah,
How do you determine that?
maneuver it.
How do you even have those conversations?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for the conversation part, is more or less to just have that conversation, regardless of how it may feel. But I don't know. I mean, that's just a tough place for a lot of people, you know. Going through, like, you're having your self journey, but then yet it's affecting the person that you're with, and then, you know, but that's why that conversation kind of has to happen. But, you know, because it's like the other person may not understand what you're going through, or understand that you're on a journey. And then if you're with somebody who y'all don't even see each other on that level, or on the same like dimension on a conscious level or whatever, and they don't even see life the same way, it's definitely going to fail.
No, that's impossible at this point.
That's what I'm saying. That's a failure. But
like, if you were going to church every Sunday morning, I'd be like, just get the fuck out. I'm sorry.
Oh man, just lay it on them. Just lay it on them.
Like,
right?
this is just not
lay
gonna
it on
work.
'em. Come on, we got to go.
We're not aligned. By no means.
Yeah.
So, there is a term.
Mm-hmm.
And I have lots of terms.
Okay.
This one in particular is a new one.
Anhedonia.
There we go.
She said it.
Let's do this slow.
Anhedonia.
Anhedonia. Anhedonia. Anhedonia.
School us.
Basically is the inability to experience joy or pleasure. You may feel numb or less interested in things that you once enjoyed. Mm-hmm. It's a common symptom of many mental health conditions like depression. Treatment is available to help you regain interest in life's activities like being around loved ones or listening to music. Mm-hmm. Point of this term in particular is because there are two different kinds. There's social anhedonia and regular anhedonia. Symptoms of social is social withdrawal, mm-hmm. Preferring solitude, faking emotions, loss of interest in hobbies and relationships. Some of the causes are neurobiology, mental health disorders, and some of the treatments. They literally have medication for this crap. Social support and of course therapy. Then on the other side, let's see, something called, the diagnosis is the Snaith Hamilton Pleasure Scale.
What? Okay.
Positive and negative affect schedule. And there's other like substance abuse, vitamin deficiency, and thyroid function tests. This also can be caused by depressive disorders, trauma or stress, decreased activity in the ventricle striatum, and a dysregulation of hormones. Treatment there is cognitive behavioral therapy, aerobic exercise, electroconvulsive therapy, and of course medications. So there's literally a diagnosis for not wanting to do shit that you used to want to do, called anhedonia.
Wow. That's to sum it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, okay, gotcha. Where you don't have the desire to do the things that you used to love to do.
Well, basically, you get to, like, for example, you think about life, and you think about who you were 20 years ago, where you looked at life as this oyster, wide open, you can make anything happen, but you didn't know anything. You didn't know about the truth of life and manifestation and the power within and going within and meditation and all these different things. And so you go through life, you learn all this stuff, and then you wake up one day and realize that you don't even know how to dream or desire anymore to actually use the shit you've learned. You get what I'm saying? Right. Like, if these tools were given to you 20 years ago, when you still, like, were dreaming and, you know, like, knew what you wanted, then you could be manifesting like this.
Right.
But now, you don't even know how to want anything anymore. Or what you do want. Like, you have to literally be like, give me a couple of weeks to figure out.
Right.
Like, you realize that you can create any life you want. Yeah. But you realize that there's no life. You don't even know what that is.
Right.
And you have to ponder and take time to figure it out.
So simple. And now it's like loaded or complicated.
You've just numbed yourself out in order to survive. That you no longer have wants. Because to have wants is to be disappointed. Because you can't have what you want. So you spend so many years in the frequency of I can't have what I want, that you teach yourself not to want. Right. And then you learn that you can have whatever you want, but now you have to relearn how to want. Which is very interesting to say.
Very deep. Very deep.
You're like, want.
Makes you
like
think.
If someone says, so what do you want? You're like, the hell if I know.
Yeah. Remember that day, I think it was, I had asked, what was it that I asked? It was something like that, where it was
I don't remember days.
You may not even want, I mean, you may not even know what you actually want anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was something we were talking about, and it was just like that, to where what we wanted isn't even the same thing, because things change. Like, as the world change, your wants, if you even know what those are anymore, also change.
My thing is, I want to remember what I used to want.
Yeah.
I like, a lot of people want to go forward. I kind of want to go backwards, because I feel like I didn't give the older version of me the opportunity to flourish.
Technically, that's part of the journey, though, is to do that. Is to let that version of you have its fulfillment, because it's going to constantly eat away at you. Like dealing with childhood traumas and things like that. It's like part of that. The older version of yourself is still screaming inside, like, I still haven't been fulfilled. I still want this. I want this. I want that. And the version of you now is like, if you don't shut up, I got to go to work. You know? And then it's like, now you're putting that version of you in the closet. And now that version of you is banging. Along with the other child in another room and the other person in another room, probably every year of our lives. It's a door closed and that version wondering. That's deep.
So like,
It
is
goes,
this a test?
It goes
Like, why
further
would you,
and further and further. Yeah.
like, it's, yes, universe, why would you give me tools for a problem that I needed 20 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And now I have the tools and I can't find the problem. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, as in, how to make your dreams come true. Now I got to go back to before and find the dreams. Because they are gone, you know?
Yeah.
You just get to a point where you wake up every day and your sole, I guess, objective is just making it through the day.
Right. Right. Talk about tough.
So, next, term I have is resilience.
Okay.
And resilience is the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties or toughness.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that is almost like rebounding. Mm-hmm. So being able to have something bad happen and not sit there and wallow in it.
Right.
You know, things like that. And these are random terms that just popped into my head as I was just like what are some of those things that put you in a position to create mental toughness in order to be on the journey to self-improvement? Resilience, compassion, which is sympathetic pity and concern for the sufferings or misfortunes of others. Because if you don't have compassion, you know, you might as well sit down somewhere. Self-worth, the internal sense of being good enough or worthy of love and belonging from others. Self-worth is often confused with self-esteem, which relies on external factors such as success, achievements to define your worth, and can often be inconsistent, leading to someone to struggle with feeling worthy. So self-worth versus self-esteem, two totally different things. So self-worth is just knowing you're good enough with no accomplishments, basically, versus self-esteem is knowing you're good enough because of what you have accomplished. That's what I see as the difference. Self-worth versus self-esteem. Boundaries. Personal boundaries are guidelines, rules, or limits that a person creates to identify reasonable, safe, and permissible ways for other people to behave towards them and how they will respond when someone passes those limits. I don't think that there's been enough push for people to have boundaries, especially within relationships. Because the thing about it is, boundaries is also, I think another word for boundaries is standards. So like, for example, if you're in a relationship, creating like, okay, this is the fucking bare minimum standard that I will allow in this relationship for me to continue in this relationship kind of thing. And I think those kinds of things are important.
Yeah, that don't happen.
I feel like there's this idea that once you just sign on to a relationship, you're just required to take the other person's shit.
Yeah, and I think that's because everybody's afraid to have that conversation. I think that's the fear of it is.
But in not having it,
you're
leaving yourself in a position to be miserable.
Yes. And then people either deal with, and then
until they explode. And they run.
Yep. Conversations have to be had. That's kind of the version of communication that is what they talk about when they say communication is key. We're not talking about just talking about the weather and what you like. It's those conversations that are very, very important. You know, the hard ones, the ones that's like, I need this, or I can't breathe. You know, those conversations.
And then fragility, the quality of being delicate or vulnerable, where I feel like it's a weird place that us as a society are, because I feel like we've neglected self-worth, self-care, and all of that for so long that now it's at the forefront of people's minds. However, now it's become an excuse for people to be selfish or to be, because at the end of the day, yeah, your mental health and your self-care is important, but it's not an excuse to be a shitty spouse.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Well, I'm a shitty spouse because my mental health, or I can't do this because, you know, I need self-care. And it's like, no, you still have to, you know, there still should be a standard. Because in my mind and where I am at this point, if self-care is if you're in a relationship with someone, self-care is important. However, it's right up there next to your spouse, your kids, or things like that. They have to align. And then the moment you decide that they will not align is the moment you decide you want to be single.
Right.
Because then you're not allowed to have those boundaries. You get what I'm saying? Like, you have to set your boundaries or your standards within the relationship, because then it'll drain you in a way where your self-care is just dead.
Yeah.
So then you've got one person that's prioritizing their self-care, the other person who cannot.
Right.
And all it does is just destroy the relationship. So then it's like, okay.
Yeah.
In the name of self-care, it's like, how much room is there for self-care within a relationship? And you have to define those parameters so that it doesn't become something that eats away at the relationship.
Yeah, and that's kind of like that. And I think we had a conversation a long time ago before on one of our Twin Flame segments, where it was like, sometimes having that argument sooner than later, as long as you both are in it, having that argument and you both listen and understand it, to come out and actually have resolve is more important than to sit and deal to where it's no longer an argument, it's only a ultimatum. You know what I mean? And then that's the point where it's no return. And it's like, no, we got to have that conversation. We got to talk about that. We can't just allow, you know?
Yeah, but I think also you have to know where the other person stands. Like, you have two people, one person can be like, of the mindset of, this relationship will never end. And the other person can be of the mindset of, actually, you can take me to a place where the relationship can end.
Yeah.
So you have to know who you're dealing with.
True. Absolutely.
Because I think that's super important too.
Right. Absolutely. This is very, very true.
What kind of boundaries do you think you can set within family? Like with your spouse?
Just, you mean with spouse or with family?
Spouse. I just said spouse.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you mean like just normal stuff or big boundaries?
Well, I
or
think,
what do you?
I think the first thing that a lot of people, and I don't think we've even done this, is you have to decide, or you have to know what kind of relationship the person you're in a relationship wants to have. Because some people have two different mindsets or like pictures of what they think a good relationship looks like. So you may be working towards two different things.
Two different depictions of
what you think a relationship should look like. So if you don't even know that, it's kind of like, like, I want A, you want B.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Right.
And so then once you know whether or not y'all even want the same letter.
And that's when it becomes very, you know, in certain situations, very complicated, because people get in a relationship and then they're like, oh, I just want that person. And then it's like, then the things happen. Then the things come up. Then, you know what I mean? Then there's, I don't like that, and you like this, and I don't like this, and that, and this, and that. You know what I mean? So they're not even thinking about it. It's not even on the radar because of, you know, the whole puppy love phase. in the beginning of a relationship. And then a big factor is we're also taught in certain generations, to not say much. You know what I mean? To not speak enough. Especially for women in those like earlier generations. You know what I mean? It's like the worst thing is they're taught to you deal with. If this and this is there, then you deal with this, and this. You know what I mean? And then they're constantly unhappy for so many years, and then they have children, and the children see that mother is unhappy, and then that's what they see as a relationship. Then they recreate that relationship, and then it goes into a cycle, all because communication didn't happen. You know what I mean? Which sucks.
What do you think is like the truth? I mean, what are your thoughts on once communication happens, how things are supposed to be implemented?
Set it in place? Yeah, like put it in place.
Because it's like you can talk about the same shit for years and nothing ever happens. It's kind of like...
Yeah, because you don't want each other to...
You get to the point where you no longer have any hope that would change,
Yeah, and you don't want each other to feel like you're dealing with, like, children. Like, no, don't do that. No. You know what I mean? You don't want to have that feeling either.
But I think that also comes from that's a self thing.
But, right, also. But what I'm saying, in general, with implementing that when, because, I mean, you have to leave the room for the mistakes to happen, of course, but it's just a matter of having that understanding with one another that's the goal that you both want, and really truly understanding it with each other. Like, you have to have a goal.
Do you think there's like a time frame?
It's hard to say. That's just hard to say because on top of what needs to be set in terms of boundaries for other people, it's like it could sometimes not align with what your journey is with self. So then you have to deal with self issues, journey, this, that, what the other person needs, wants, boundaries, desires is, on top of, let's add, you add children into the mix and other family if that's in the case. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it becomes longer and longer prolonged the more things that are thrown onto the pot. You know what I mean? And then when life just, sits on top of you, you're kind of like, it pushes and slows everything down. So it's really hard to put a time frame on it because it's, you go day to day and then you're like, okay, I just want to just feel.
But what's fair?
Once. Those are great questions.
Because it's like, especially if one person is miserable, and then they ask for certain changes, they got to be miserable for another 5 years while they wait for the person to feel up to the changes? I
mean, I don't know. That's just tough.
Like, in what world is that fair?
It really just depends on. It really depends on how that person is either trying or you know what I mean. If they're blatantly not, like, you know what I mean, not even putting any kind of like thought into it at all, that's one thing.
Thought or action? Both. Because thought is garbage. Both. Nobody cares about what somebody thinks.
I mean, yeah, but intention at least,
And who determines that, though?
It's all in the factor of how you feel. You know what I mean? Like, you have to feel that. Like you have to determine how much you can take.
Like, yeah, like
how long you can
right.
Deal.
And wouldn't you say that the other person has to
give reassurance?
Not reassurance, but has to be okay with the idea that their timetable may not match the other person's timetable, and they may lose that other person in the process, but they have to take responsibility or sit in that idea and measure whether or not they're okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people are like, I will do whatever it takes, and they make a complete 180 immediately. And then other people, my mindset is that other people are self-sabotagers. They don't really necessarily believe they actually, like, deserve good things. So they don't actually put in the work to hold on to those good things. So if they don't do the work and the other person leaves, they can always say, well, they left me. Versus I lost them, which is the actual truth.
Well, yeah, I mean,
because the thing about it is, once a person tells you what they need,
lost,
and you don't do it, you've lost them. But that person's self-esteem is so low.
Oh, I know what you're saying, for sure. Yeah,
are self-sabotaging to the point where they'll be like, oh, they just left me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Versus, no. Once a person tells you, hey, this is what I need in order to be happy in this relationship, and the other person does nothing, there's no way in hell that a person can expect somebody to just hang around for another 5 years waiting. That's if the person does hang around for another 5 years, that shows their lack of self-esteem. That is not strength. I don't believe in any way, shape, form, or fashion. That is not strength. That is not, no. I call bullshit on all that. That shows you have a self-esteem problem too.
I mean, yeah.
You know.
And in some form or fashion, we all do.
Right.
We all do in some form. Now, a lot of things could be based on triggers too. What triggers the person to motivate them to move forward versus going backwards. And then aligning the boundaries of each other. It's like, well, I need this, this, and this. And it's like, well, the other person, like, I need this, this, and this. You know, and then we can both meet in the middle. Then it's like, what? Then that's the tug of war.
Right. Well,
that's the tug of war.
Yes, you have to have, it has to be a situation where you're like, hey, I need these things. And the person says, I need these things.
Yeah.
But you have to both be fulfilling both ends.
Both. Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
But they both have to communicate. You can't have one person who says all these things that they need and the other person doesn't say shit.
And doesn't say anything or give anything.
And then it's sort of like, well, you didn't ask for shit. And so like, how am I supposed to know?
How are we supposed? Yeah. How are you supposed to figure it out? And that's part of that. That's part of the finding out, where it's like that person just don't have any kind of, you know what I mean, desire for anything.
Do you feel that people have a right to set requirements for their significant others?
I mean, yeah.
Like requirements.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for sure. Like, yeah, I feel like it's kind of like, I don't know, it's almost like the checks. You know what I mean? The checks. Like, when you're with somebody, it's like there's certain check marks that are outside of just, I like this person because they. No, it's like there's the check marks are, they need a person, blah, blah, blah. They need this and that. I need to see this, this, and this. And I need to see this and this. Now, of course, it could sound very, you know, self-centered and selfish in a way and narcissistic in a way. But it's still kind of part of what is needed, I would say, in a relationship. You know what I mean? To factor in, like, those things to really create that. Okay, we have this thing together. We have, okay, I see what you need, this and this. I need this and this and this. Where can we meet in the middle? Then you start to go and dabble into, I guess, what, acceptance or what you can deal with, or I hate when you wear red and you know, but that's your color, so okay, whatever, you know, it ain't gonna kill me, kind of things. You know what I'm saying?
You have to
And
decide
that,
what you are willing to take.
Yeah,
what you're not.
You're right, and then it goes to that point of just evil and narcissistic and bad when it's like, you wear red and I hate you and I don't, you know, that's
but
just, that's insanity.
What makes it narcissistic is when you refuse to let that person go if they don't. So for example, even if it is as petty as I hate when you wear red, and it's infuriating to that person when that person wears red, you have to be okay. You're not a narcissist, in my opinion, to say, you know, since you love wearing red so much, I think you should go find someone who loves red, and we should part ways at this time. I think that's a very evolved human being. Yeah. To feel like, just because I've made a commitment or whatever, I'm not going to just hold you hostage when what we want does not align. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because all I'm doing is keeping you from your ultimate happiness and probably myself from mine. Right. You know?
Right. Absolutely. Then it becomes a situation to where you can always tell the manipulation. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that really sucks, is that so many people can sometimes see it from the outside in, and then there's so many people who will, and those are those who have low self-esteem, self-sabotagers, blah blah blah, that will deal with it. And like, you see this person will beat the crap out of you and this and that, but then will say, baby, please don't leave, and then it's like, and then now you're there again, and then it happens next week. You get what I'm saying? That's when it's like, okay, like, you know.
Do you think there's such thing as being with the same person forever?
I mean, it just depends. It depends on the person, the people. I mean, that's, you know, I can't answer that. You know what I mean?
If somebody asked me that today, I personally believe that the only relationship outside of like children and all that can last forever is friendship. And the reason why I can say that, and I'll throw something in there that people are going to hate, the Will and Jada thing. The reason why, if they last forever, they would be, is because of their friendship. Because the thing about it is, a friendship allows, there's something about romantic relationship that has this possessive energy that just does not allow people to be free and change and grow and evolve. When you put that type of freedom in your relationship, then it can last forever. But while I was watching this movie the other day, and this guy was like, I want my wife back. Where did she go? And I just kept wanting to be like, dude, fuck you the whole time. Because I wanted to be like, so because she's living her truth now, and she's not the version that you decided you wanted her to be, you're like, how dare you? You betrayed me. Like, get the hell out of here with that shit.
And then what's really bad is too when it's like she don't even like that stuff.
Right.
Not with you.
Like,
not with you.
The thing about it is, you don't know what you don't like until you tried it. So the thing about it is, she could have her whole life been like, man, I hate people who eat peas. And then one day she ate some peas and was like, God damn, these peas are good. And now you over there in the corner feeling like you've been lied to. But get the hell out of here.
But also too, you have to give people room to have a journey and change.
That's why I said what I said. Like, because have a journey friendship. That's why I said that friendship allows a person to grow and change and evolve. And you actually wake up every morning in that mindset of being like, you can always almost get to a point where you're excited every morning to see who it is you're going to meet. What version of this person are you going to meet today? Honestly, what are you going to learn new about this person today? The same person every day, the same way, is boring.
Yes. There should be some type of
change evolution. That's how you reinvent yourself.
Right.
So the thing about it
that's
is,
how you can tell who and the type of person you're with. If they're like, you're going to be this way, you're going to be this way forever.
Yeah, I'm not with that by no means.
Every day.
No.
1 egg, 2 slices of toast.
No.
Smush fried.
I mean, if that brings you joy, whatever.
But no, it's the requirement aspect. Like, you're required to not change.
Well, this is
And
how
that's
much life are
yes.
people missing out on,
Mm-hmm.
being afraid that whomever they chose to spend their life with is going to reject them or betray them
Mm-hmm.
or throw them out to pasture just because they want to fulfill their own individual happiness.
Right. Right. I mean, yeah, like, you know, you've been missing out on watermelon for a long time, and then you changed and said, I like watermelon.
No, I physically hated watermelon.
You did.
I tried it
You
150 times,
Yes.
and it tasted
Yes.
like
Yes.
putting a
I can't even.
it was like putting a wet rag in your mouth,
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
bath towel. That's how it was to me.
What?
Yeah, because it was like
What?
because my thing about it is I
you
don't
still
like.
can remember that feeling?
No, the reason why I can say that is because for me, growing up, either
yeah.
something was sweet or not. I don't like a hint of sweet.
Okay.
So the thing about it is, as I've gotten older, I like a light sweet. So that's why I can enjoy it. I used to be like, this has a piece of flavor.
Yes.
That's why I didn't like it. I was
Yes.
like, if it's not sweet, well, like, what's the freaking point?
Right. Okay. I mean, I get it. You know,
And then
for sure.
when you get the kind that's real mealy and nasty,
Oh,
you be
no,
like,
no,
what
no,
the
no,
fuck
no,
is
no,
that?
no, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
see, so, and then it was a texture thing.
Yeah, texture. Yep. And that's probably, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing. It's just that's the opening of completely changing something. And then
That's
you
that's
know,
why I don't say I don't.
and it's like,
I don't say I don't like
you like watermelon
anything.
now, and I don't like that you know.
Well, that's why I've always
using
I've
this
always
as
said
an
two things:
example,
never
but-
say never,
Yeah.
and I don't say that I don't. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I can change my mind tomorrow, and so I don't like.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the reason why I'm very closed off to people, because people will put you in a box.
Yes.
And
yes,
people
yes,
love
yes.
to be like, you changed. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that, you can't say that if there's no one around.
Man, that's you know, and,
So
and
it's
that's
just like I can be whoever I want to be any day.
yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it's certain things that people love that
You don't feel like
I
you're
detest.
allowed to be
I hate
yourself.
walking into a room,
Mhm.
like even going to work, and people be like, "You changed your hair." That annoys the shit out of me. I like why can't I come walk into a room and you just leave me alone?
Yeah.
I don't know why. That's something inside of me that I obviously need to heal or whatever. But it literally infuriates me.
I mean,
So it's like if I
get
change
it,
my
though.
hair or anything,
Yeah.
I walk into a room with disgruntled energy, like I have on a bulletproof vest. Like, don't fucking talk to me.
Trust me, I you know I get it,
And then I have to like
you
take a
know,
moment to dispel it, and I'd be like, okay, just breathe
like,
through it. Just breathe through it.
Just go
'Cause
through it.
People have this
Yeah.
this weird like thing in their head
Mhm.
that their opinion matters.
Oh yeah.
Like people
Yeah.
like to be like, I love your hair like that, or I don't really like it. It'd be like, I didn't ask you. I'm like, I'm sorry. I think I missed that part. Did I black out for a moment
Right, like
and ask you on accident? Because I promise you I didn't.
I thought this was my head.
I could have sworn.
Thought it was.
And I think I'm like that because I literally am the type of person that wants what I give to other people.
Mhm.
I am not interested enough in anyone
Yeah.
to be all up in their grits.
Oh, she is
if
like
you
this, guys.
ask me,
She is like
I
this.
will absolutely give you what you're asking for.
Right.
But I am not an unsolicited person.
Yeah.
And I feel like if we could all be like that, everybody would be happier. People spend too much time feeling like they should have a say in other people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like friends get mad at other friends. Like, I'm mad because you didn't tell me you were going to do this. Bitch, I don't have to tell you shit. Like, you get what I'm saying? That's why I'm very the way I am.
Yeah.
Because I would be going off on people like that. Like, how dare you
Yeah.
feel you have the audacity to have a say
Yes.
in what color drawers I put on today?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have a say in I'm very like dogmatic.
Look, guys, we're back here again. In friendship. Go
that.
back to that episode. Listen
That's
to
why,
that
like,
episode.
I would be that person.
And
No,
we're gonna
remember?
go on for another hour about
remember?
this.
What show was that? It was Cynthia. It was the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
When Cynthia Bailey gave Nene that friendship contract.
Oh, yeah.
That's me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
I would be like, so here are the rules and regulations of what it looks like to be my friend. And I promise you, I don't really give a shit about friendship. So this is for you because you want to be my friend.
Right.
I have no problem walking away from this conversation friendless.
Yeah.
And I will sleep like a baby.
Yeah.
But my friendship contact track would be, you absolutely have zero say in my life. I don't care what you think unless I asked you.
Right.
And I'm a very vocal person, so I have no problem asking when I want.
Yeah.
I have no problem saying, hey, what do you think about blah? But until you hear that, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And that's facts. Hi, Mom. I know you're listening. You're like, damn, you're harsh. Yep. I'm very harsh because I don't need other people like that. So literally, until I ask you, shut the fuck up.
You know, well, I guess that says a lot about me. Mm-hmm. Because I'm the only one still standing.
That's cool. You can fall down too.
I'm the only one still standing.
Listen, you can fall down too, and I'll go ahead and meditate and be cool as a cucumber.
Well, and that's part of why. That's part of why we are what we are and why we have what we have. You know, because
for now,
I mean, because I'm also very similar. I just have a very light way of dealing with it and handling it to make the other person feel a certain way or comfortable. You know, you don't.
Now let me say this on the other end. Go ahead and finish, and then I'm saying that on the other.
No, but I'm just saying, like, because I completely understand everything that you were saying. You know, like changing your hair thing. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I went through, and of course, as
you go through it now because I hate your hair.
Well,
sorry.
Okay.
But I'm your spouse. But you don't care. But moving right along.
I'm on a journey, guys.
Yeah, a self journey in which he does all the things I hate. Moving right along.
Yeah, you know.
Yep.
And this is also partially because of I went to Spectrum when I worked at Spectrum, and I tried dreads, and you know, and everyone had a lot to say about that. And how it wasn't right. I shouldn't this.
A bunch of ugly people moving
I shouldn't this, and it don't work. Why did I do that? And of course, I'm just like, I'm the jokey type, so I'm just like, oh man. And then it made me feel some kind of way after a while, because after all the years, I'm like, I just kind of not paid attention to it, and I didn't like my hair. So I'm trying to at this point to embrace it, but.
And when I say I hate your hair, it's not that I hate your hair. I just prefer short hair. No, and you have long hair, and you walk around looking like the dude from Speed all the time.
I do not look like the excess
panels in the floor. That's you all day, every day. So,
this is so funny, though.
Listen. At the end of the day, if you was like out here slaying the hair, maybe I'd like it, but you physically look like homeboy.
No.
So just like whatever.
Listen. Let me. That is just too funny, because that head on that access panel, I swear.
And it was cool.
Woo.
For him.
Nope. But yeah.
My thing is, I think it would be easier for you if it was short and you just got up and just ran your fingers through it and moved on. Everybody would be happier.
I mean, no, it's a lot more loaded than that, I guess, in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, with all that being said, you know.
I wanted to give my other perspective on it. On the other side of things, if I were to meet evolved women that knew how to respect boundaries, had elevated consciousness and elevated thinking, weren't ghetto, and thinking that going to have a drink was like their desired way of enjoying themselves. And I had like-minded interests with, that would be like everything to me. Like, I was watching Waiting to Exhale again, and I was like, wow, they have that great friendship. Yeah. It's great, da-da-da-da. I would love that kind of stuff. I'm just not desperate enough to just take anything to be surrounded by people. Right. And that's why I speak the way that I speak, because I will never be that desperate for people to just end up around a bunch of stuff that I don't want to be around. I'm very, very choosy, very particular, and I would rather be alone than to just be surrounded by people just to have people, because it's the most draining and suffocating thing to be around people who who think on a different frequency than you do.
Yes.
Where you just hear people talking and you're just like, man, did you fall on your head? Like, you know, or whatever, you know, it is what it is. And it's not about thinking differently, like having different opinions.
Right,
it's you're not thinking at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I will deal with a lot of that where it's like they at least think, even though we have beliefs,
yes, if you're thinking, I can respect that.
I love the good debate about anything. You know what I mean? And then there's those who will think that the debate is somebody being sensitive and we're having a harsh, you know, it's like, no, you're being sensitive because I'm gonna sleep great tonight. Mm-hmm. But I love the good conversation in terms of you have a different opinion about something. Tell me. Mm-hmm. Tell me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, talk about it.
And I love that, knowing that you're allowed to have your opinion, I'm allowed to have mine.
Right.
And it's not your job to try to bring me to your side.
Yes.
Not my job to try to bring you to mine.
Yes.
At the end of the conversation, walk away and know that you wholeheartedly believe that tomatoes will save your life, and I wholeheartedly believe that tomatoes will kill you. Mm-hmm. You go eat yours, and I don't eat, and we can sit next to each other and be happy, and not be disgruntled that, you know, we have two different mindsets of it.
Right.
Those are the kind of people I'm going to be around.
That's why my friend pool is small.
Mm-hmm.
Also, because of that right there. Like, no. But yeah.
Yeah. And lastly, I say identifying. Oh, I heard someone on Instagram say this today. Mm-hmm. What are your current happiness attachments? Meaning, all the things that make you happy, if you took them away, one by one,
what would you have?
What would you have? And how healthy are your happiness attachments?
Okay.
And are they really rooted in a way where you know who you are? Or are they superficial? Or are they all a bunch of tangible crap versus being internal happiness? Right. All those different things. Those things, something to ponder on maybe for next week.
Yeah, that's really good, like, to think about. Mm-hmm. But then it also too it helps you identify like your true happiness versus what we talked about last time about the joy and what brings you joy, and, you know, passions, and, you know. But then also, like you said, what is a good, healthy happiness bringer versus something that makes you happy, but you talking about some alcohol or something crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so, like what brings you happiness? Is it actually helping or hurting you?
Yeah.
So just to recap as we end out,
anhedonia.
Identify if that's something you pop it on. Identify if that's something you're dealing with, and definitely do the research. Once again, that is spelled ANHEDONIA. Anhedonia. Know that you technically can create and build any life you want. However, you have to be able to identify what it is, and if you are just, you know, if you are suffering from,
so using
anhedonia,
you may have to take some time to figure out what you want that life to look like.
And so using that in a sentence,
I have anhedonia.
Right. Just simple as that.
Yes, that's the sentence.
That's why she doesn't lose arguments.
So, it's because I read.
Research.
So, yeah. If that is your issue, if anhedonia is something that you are experiencing, definitely start there and decide whether or not, because I mean, at the end of the social withdrawal, fake emotions, I'm probably the fakest person you'll ever meet. And I say that with
that's not the good.
No, it's actually very good.
Not the good at
this
all.
Listen, this has been a long podcast.
I know what you mean.
But let me say this real quick.
I know what you mean.
Because I was thinking about this morning.
Okay.
People love to be, oh, I'm not fake. I can't be fake. Well, then you'll never get nowhere in life.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody waking up in the morning going to work like, gee golly, wow, this is the best shit ever. No, but you have to fake it to make it. So at the end of the day, if you can't be fake, you might as well go home and get under the bed.
Right.
Being fake is a part of life. You have to fake it till you make it most of the time. So all that, I'm real, I'm fake, get the hell up out of here with that. You will get nowhere with that.
Right.
So, yes, I know how to be fake really well, and it gets me far because at the end of the day, I'm able to give whatever I'm supposed to give to the situation and then go home.
Right.
That keeps my emotions in check. That keeps the situation in check. That puts me in a position to actually move up the corporate ladder. You will stab yourself in the foot if you always, I'm so real, get it. No.
And
y'all don't even know what that means.
Those are actually the fakest people that you'll meet, because those are the people who will like talk so much crap about you behind your back. Like, I'm real, but those are the ones who actually aren't. That's sad.
Because at the end of the day, you could be having a bad day, but if you gotta still go to work and be like, hi, welcome to such and such and such, how was your day? That doesn't make you fake. That makes you a smart human being.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it may be the promotion you get from that fakery that actually makes your life better.
Yeah.
So that one day you don't have to be fake all the time.
And see, my thing is, I'm real good at that, where I don't have to be fake. I don't have to be fake. I'm gonna be very truthful. I'm very, very truthful, and I could just say it. I don't have to beat around the bush or anything, but I don't have to be somebody I'm not either. You know what I mean?
Here's another.
Like, I don't have to like you, right? But at the same time, we will have the greatest conversation. You will think we best friends.
I'm very accurate. That's very accurate of you.
Right, you know what I mean?
And then you will be understanding on the other end. He don't even like you.
Hey, you want to come down to the concert with me?
You'd be like, actually, no, I don't like you.
No, I don't want to do that.
But here's another perspective on that.
Yeah. My
perspective on that is you have to earn the right to know me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, unfortunately, I'm going to give you fake because you don't deserve to know me yet.
Yeah.
Once you have earned the right to know me, I'll give you me. But until then, you're going to get the version of me I decide that I want to give you. And when you know about the millions of sides of us and our chakras and all those different things, if I tap into my solar plexus, you're going to get it on one side of my personality. If I tap into my sacral, you're going to get another side of my personality. If I tap into my heart, you're going to get a different side of my personality. So at the end of the day, I'm more than one personality anyway. And when you find out that you're a multifaceted prism human being, then you no longer even think of it as fake. You're literally just tapping into another side of yourself that actually exists and is still a part of you. And but the compassionate part of me doesn't have to show up to the business meeting with the assholes.
Right.
That part that has no place there.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, I'm going to have to tap into a different part of me to make it there. However, if I go to a freaking daycare with toddlers, I need to 100% bring my heart chakra and leave my sacral at home.
Right. Right.
You get what I'm saying?
And that's, I don't want people to think that, you know what I mean, you're just like bitter and you don't have a good side. And, no, I mean, this is I mean, of course, this is on me, you know, wanting to clarify to people that
I shall look long and hard
her other sides
to find a fuck to give.
Her other sides are very amazing. Don't let this dragon by me fool you. As she
I may find one day,
but you know, no, it's not like that, you know, all the time.
It doesn't matter.
You know,
it doesn't matter.
But
yeah, that's it.
So we're going to stay the course here, you know,
and be back next week.
And speaking of stay the course, we're gonna leave you with Stay the Course by Vapors.
Goodbye.
See you later.
The smoking gun is running through my veins. Exactly what is running my brain. The gig is up, I know from where I came. Your time is up, I'm back to running things. I have mixed emotions about what's gonna do. I am ready for what they're gonna do. Do whatever it takes to keep me sanity. Have your mind debug, get them out of your brain. Stand calm. Don't be afraid. They make you to control you in many ways. That's when you rise above. That's when you take control. That's when you raise your floor. That's when you make some noise. Stand for exactly what I thought is where it face. You can't let down your guard, predict the change. Be firm in who you are, it is your strength. No wavering because by external change. Take back what once belongs to you. We can no longer remain subdued inside what they're forced to tap into. When balance has won, you cannot lose. Stay the course. Don't be afraid. Be afraid. They make you control you. In many ways. That's when you rise above. Rise above. That's when you take control. Take control. That's when you raise your floor. Make some noise. Rise above, take control. Raise your floor.